grateful to one and all who have gathered here. Honorable Professor Alka Sharma, Honorable Professor Jayendra Krishna Sharma, my fellow colleagues and my dear successful candidates. I would be doing great injustice if I do not mention the contribution of Professor Noni Gopal Mohanto, because this whole Vartalap initiative is something which was taken in discussion.
Honorable my teacher, Professor Alka Sharma, esteemed faculty members of the department, our invited guests, successful candidates of this last APSC examination, our bright futures, and my dear research scholars and students, friends. We are very much proud that our students cleared this APSC examination with bright colors. I welcome Tamasha Das, Janhavi Bora, Mousumi Chakraborty, Mousumi Bhattacharjee, Bornali Khatiora, Vidisha Bora, and Ambarish Sharma. I will not take much time. I only wish that through their deliberation and interaction, our next generation of students must be benefited. I request our dear first semester and third semester students to interact with them as much as possible so that they gather something from their experience. And I also request the successful candidates to talk or encourage and please tell how these students to prepare in future along with their master's degree courses. I would like to thank Dr. Vikas Tripathi, coordinator of this function, for his initiative and hard work to make this program successful. And I request all of you, specifically students, to interact with the successful candidates, to ask them questions and take their contact numbers so that you may interact in future. These interactions must not be limited to this room only. You interact during tea time, you interact in future, you interact through telephonic conversation, or you meet with them later, so that next time there will be no place to sit here of successful candidates in future. So many successful candidates will come here and we will be in a position not to give all the candidates to sit in this place. So with this wish, I inaugurate this program. I declare.
I will not make my speech very long. You can ask as many questions you want. I have been asked to talk about my strategy in general studies. But before that, I want to share that how the journey began. The journey of becoming a civil servant. So this was not my childhood dream that I wanted to pursue civil service. It all began when I was doing my graduation. So while I think it was in the last year of my graduation that I thought I would want to join civil service. So what happened, actually after my graduation, I came to pursue masters in this very department, and something happened to me. I thought that I will not do masters. Then what happened, after doing I think 2 or 3 days I did classes, then I left. Without informing anybody, I left. I thought that graduation is enough, so I will do graduation, then I will study for civil service. I saw the syllabus, and that syllabus was different. This is my second attempt, and in the first attempt the syllabus was different and a little bit easier, okay. Then I saw the syllabus, then I thought, some confidence came into me that I can do it, so I will not do masters, I will do graduation, then I will prepare. Then I went home and I started preparing, self-study. I did self-study and almost 1 year I studied. Then again, it came into my mind that I must do my masters again. Actually, why it happened? Because this exam actually it takes 1 year, but unfortunately in Assam, the process it becomes longer due to various reasons. Sometimes this 1 year exam it takes two years also. So I got bored also at home. So I thought that I must go again and do masters. And God was very fortunate enough. I gave entrance again, and I secured the top rank in entrance. Then I came back and then I did my masters. I also did little bit kind of work. I became the class representative. Then I did some programs also. So it was a very great journey, and I think that was the best decision I have taken. Now I can say it was the best decision that I came back and I did my masters. So at this moment now I have completed my masters also, and APSC is also done. So I think that was the best decision. Now coming to the strategy of the GS, actually I have not taken any coaching. At that time also, after graduation 1 year I did self-study. Then I came here and I did my masters. And along with masters, I was preparing. In the first attempt also, I got selected in prelims, mains and interview. But unfortunately, my name didn't come in the final list. But again, I gave my second attempt. Then it was a little bit difficult for me also, because along with masters, I was preparing. And I was doing that both seriously. Actually, I wanted to do good in masters also, then APSC also. So I was preparing both side by side. So before telling about my strategy, I want to tell that actually there is no perfect strategy. Strategies will differ from person to person. In fact, in both my exams, my strategy was different. It was not the same strategy, because in my first attempt I was at home. It was in a completely different environment. I was just studying at home, no other work. But in my second attempt I came to university, I was doing my masters. So this time the strategy was different. So before telling about my strategy, I want to say that there is no perfect strategy. Okay? Now everyone will tell their strategies, but you choose, students, you choose which one is good for you, because everyone has their own strength and weakness. So only you can know what is your strength and what is your weakness. So you have to choose your own strategy. But you can have some faith in me, because I have given 2 attempts. So a little bit experience I have gathered. So you can have some faith in me, because there are some things that are similar for all. Like everyone has to do hard work. That is common for all. And more than hard work now, it's about smart work. Smart work means, like it is said that for the GS syllabus, everything under the sun comes under GS, under general studies. But that is not so. Because there has been a perfect syllabus has been given for general studies. So what we have to do, we have to stick to the syllabus. We have to stick to the syllabus. I think every candidate will say that since the syllabus is given, we have to stick to the syllabus, because time is very limited. It's better to read few books several times, many times, than reading various books. Okay, reading the same book again and again is more beneficial than reading many books. So I think this is same for all, that you have to do smart work. Now, the general studies paper, it comprises of Indian polity, history, geography, economy. Now, what is there? There are 2 parts. One is static part and one is current part. Now, for the static part, I would advise you all that you first start with NCERT. In my preparation, I think NCERT it helped me a lot. You have to start from class 6 itself. When you read the class 6 book, you will feel that we know these things. that we no need to read. You can feel like that, but I would advise you that you should read from class 6 itself. Okay, there are certain things inside the book, some short questions, those also come in the exam. Okay, and when you read something from an easier level, you will find it more easy when you go to some standard book. So I would advise you all to study from class 6, and from class 6 to class 12 NCERT. I think you must study that. In all subjects, geography or history or polity, you start from class 6 to class 12. Then while studying, try to underline the important points. Underlining the important points or highlighting the important points, and along with that you can also make some notes. While I was reading, I made notes while reading the NCERTs. So when you do revision, you don't have to again read the book. You can use that notebook only, and don't make the notes so long. Just try to make some kind of points so that it helps you during revision. Then when you complete the NCERT, and NCERT also, I think reading once is not enough. You have to read it again and again. Okay. Then after NCERT, you go for some standard books. Then you will feel it easy. Then try to integrate these NCERTs with those standard books, and then try to formulate answers. Now, for formulating answers, one important thing is that you have to go through the question papers. Question papers is very important, and when you look into the question papers, you will know that how you have to start the preparation. As I told you that at first when I saw the question papers during the previous attempt, I felt that I can do it with it myself. My notes were ready because it was very much similar with kind of graduation and graduation syllabus only. But this year it's about the syllabus, it resembles the master syllabus, and also it's kind of broad. So you will know how to do the preparation. If anybody thinks that I cannot read it myself, you can go for coaching also. Though I have not taken coaching, I will not say that coaching is bad or something. If you feel that but how you will come to know that whether I need coaching or not? You have to see the syllabus, and then you have to read the question papers. Take 5 or 6 years previous year question paper and go through it. Then you will feel it by yourself that whether I can do it by myself or not. And if you feel that no, I need some guidance, you can go for coaching. And in my case, I didn't take coaching because I took my optional. You have to choose one optional. I think everybody knows that you have to take one optional. And my optional subject was PSIR, Political Science and International Relations. So I felt that I could do it myself. And GS also, I felt that, and since I was doing my masters also, so it was difficult for me to do again coaching. So I did it myself. So that thing only you will know. Some people will advise that you should take coaching, and some will say you should not take coaching. But I think that it's up to you. Only you will know. Only you will know your strength, and how you will know it. First, you have to analyze the question papers. Okay. And this exam is also similar to all other exams, but the difference is that here the success rate is very low and competition is very high. Okay. So keeping the competition in view, you have to do your study. And how you will approach in the study, okay? I will tell you about that. And I am again telling you that don't follow me blindly, because my strategy may not suit your strategy also. So I can advise you to choose an integrated approach while appearing for this competitive examination. It's better if you study taking the perspective of mains examination. Because after prelims you will get only 2 or 3 months, and that is not enough for mains preparation. During that time it will be very difficult for you to prepare notes, and the syllabus is very vast. So when you feel that you will give this examination, take an integrated approach. First prepare taking the mains perspective. So when you take the mains perspective, prelims will be easier. You can also make separate notes also. Note making is very important. No matter how much you read the book, but before the examination, you will need some kind of notes to revise. So you can prepare prelims and mains notes separately, or you can also, what you can do, you have prepared notes for mains, and along with that you can highlight the short things, because in prelims objective questions will come, so you can highlight that also. But note making is important. So if you take an integrated approach, then what you have to do, before 2 months before prelims, you stop studying from the mains perspective. Then before prelims, you start completely with prelims perspective. And one thing is important, no matter how much you read, but you have to practice questions. That is very important. While reading, we feel that it is done, but when you actually attempt questions, you will know that where you lack. এনেকুৱা আমাৰ লাগে যে হৈ গ'ল, কিন্তু যেতিয়া আমি কুৱেশ্যন প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰোঁ, তেতিয়া আমি গম পাওঁ যে কিমান ভুল হয় কুৱেশ্যন. So test series is very important. Though I have not taken any formal coaching, but I have given test series in both my attempts, in prelims also, in mains test series also I have given. I have not given classroom test series, but I took the papers and I did it at home only, and after that, not after giving the test series, you will know which where you lack, and then analysis is more important. Okay, after you have given the test series, you have to analyze that where you lack. Okay, then start preparing those things. So test series you have to give as many test series you when you give in the examination, it will be very helpful for you. Now in prelims, so we have another paper, CSAT, Civil Service Aptitude Test. Okay, I will advise you, don't take it lightly. Don't take that paper lightly, though that paper is only qualifying in nature. But you should not take it lightly, because many of my friends this time they couldn't qualify because of the CSAT paper. And in that paper 80 questions come, okay, and I will advise you, don't do too many questions, but because there is negative marking. I have only done 43 questions out of 80, and I qualified, because you just need 33% marks. So don't do too many questions, because it might get wrong, and then so do what you know, only that questions you do, and find out the strength also in that paper. For me, I am a little bad in mathematics kind of questions, so what I did, I am good in a little bit English, so lot of passage kind of questions come, so I have done more in that questions. So you choose what is your strength and accordingly prepare yourself. But I am not telling that skip the maths question, don't do that. Okay, try it. You have to be prepared for everything. But in examination, you do in which those questions where you are sure that it's correct. Don't do too many questions, because it can fetch you less marks. Okay. So prelims do test series, and then again if I come to mains also, there are a lot of test series are available in the coaching centers online. So answer writing is very important, because what happens here, we write 80 marks in 3 hours, there you have to write 250 marks, so a huge difference. Okay, but you don't have to write long questions, certain limit has been given, you have to write in a certain limit, but still it's very less time. So you have to make a strategy before going to the examination. You cannot just go and write answers. You have to first make a strategy that for one question I will take suppose 15 minutes only. So you make a strategy, and how this strategy will be developed when you practice answers. So practicing answers is very important. Then you will know. Sometimes what happens when we practice, we see that my answer is taking much time. Then I have to make again another strategy that how I will make it short, so that I complete the paper in one frame in the time period. So and one more thing I will advise you, that some people, this is what I am just telling it from my perspective, that some people say that you must write good answers. No need to write all the answers, but write those answers you write very nicely. But I think that you should not skip questions. You should not leave the questions. You should attempt all the questions. No need to write very standard answers. Write what is correct answers. Okay, then no need so much standard. It will just waste your time to make the answer standard. Just follow simple introduction, body, and conclusion. That's the simple format. Just follow that, and even if you write 2 or 3 lines also, you might get some marks. 1 mark or 0.5 is also important in this examination. So you should not leave questions. Then from my perspective, I am saying I feel that I have not left questions in the examination. Though I have not got so much good marks, but still I feel that doing all the questions is very important. And after mains there is interview, you all know. And I think about the interview, my fellow officers, they will say about this. And lastly, it feels good that many of you are interested in civil service. Ma'am just told me, so it's very nice. And today we have just come for a short brief time, but I want to say that I am always available for you all. For any help you can contact me. You can take my phone number also, and I'll feel very great if I'm able to help you. So my best wishes are with all of you. And lastly, I want to thank my teachers. They were very supportive during my journey. I think they have seen my journey, so I'm very much grateful to them, thankful to them. With this, I end my speech. Thank you.
My fellow officers and my dear friends. First of all, I would like to thank you all for inviting me here today. I am greatly honored. Before going to discussion about the civil services, SC has already given my introduction. I once again want to tell you that I come from a Assamese medium government sector school, and that why I am telling you this is because all these things, like where you have come from, which medium of instruction you followed, all these things doesn't matter in this examination. The thing that matters is how you have performed in your mains and interview examination. Now coming to the civil service preparation and strategy, I'll be talking about GS. As Janhavi has already told you about what books to be followed, how to be prepared. So I'll be specifically talking about answer writing aspect. It is one of the most important aspects in preparation of civil services. I would like to draw your attention in a subtle difference between prelims and mains examination here. The difference is, in preliminary examination we have to fill the OMR sheet, right? But in mains examination, we get a chance to interact with the examiner. We get a chance to let the examiner know what we think about certain issue going in and around us, right? So that is the point where you get a chance to impress the examiner through your answer writing, and there you have to work on it. So how you will impress the examiner? Obviously there are two things. One is your handwriting and other is content of your answer, isn't it? So here you have to work on your own strength and weaknesses. Like if you have good handwriting, then work on your content and speed. Speed, content and handwriting, these three things matters in civil service examination, I believe. And if you have content ready and you have a poor handwriting like mine, I never had a good handwriting, so you must work on your handwriting and speed. Here I would like to share my strategy about answer writing. As Janhavi has told you that doing test series is must, but I tend to differ with her here, because I didn't go for any test series for mains, because I knew my strength. My strength is speed. I always wrote with good speed during my graduation as well as in my master's. So I knew that I can complete the paper within given time. That's why I worked on my content. And I scored fairly good marks, I believe, decent mark in my GS papers in mains. So I want to tell you that in this examination, one size fits all approach, you cannot adopt that. We 331 selected candidates. If you ask everyone, you will find a different strategy. So you have to work on your own strategy. You can listen to everyone, like the ads are there. Suno sabki karo man ki, isn't it? So yeah, you can listen to the speakers, whoever here tell you whatever strategy they followed, but you have to phase out your own strategy, what will work for you. You have to first know about your strength and weaknesses. If you have good speed, you work on content. If you have good handwriting, then do some speed practice. I did 3 or 2 tests before going to mains examination. Test in the sense not like coaching institute wala test. I took out the previous year's question paper and write in at my home. And I didn't go for any coaching. I prepared on my own. Self-study helped me. This is the thing I want to tell you about answer writing. And another most important thing about mains or GS, the syllabus is altogether a different game. But the mains GS papers are, you have to perform on an average. So what you can do is, in mains, if you can draw certain flowcharts, maps, etc. in your answer, that will help you. For example, I can give you here in GS paper 5, there was a question on physiographic divisions of Assam. There, I draw the map of Assam and highlighted the physiographic divisions. That's how I tackle the questions. In GS paper 3 again, there was a question on FDI and FII. There, I draw 2 columns and wrote the differences. That's how I tackle the questions. In GS paper 5 again, I want to share you one incident that happened during the exam with me. There was a question on Jiban Dinga scheme, a scheme of government of Assam in GS paper 5. What happened at that time? I didn't know about what Jiban Dinga is at that time. But it is a 10-marker question and I cannot leave that. I asked the person sitting beside me whether he has any idea about Jiban Dinga scheme. He said that he is also clueless. So what will I do now? I decided to attempt the question. Now you must be wondering how. I know nothing about Jiban Dinga, but how will I attempt the question? At that time, what I did is, I used my common sense. Any scheme government takes up for what? For the welfare of people, isn't it? So that is one point. And another point, the question itself gives you the hint. There was a word Jiban. Jiban means life. So it has to be for the protection of life. On the basis of these 2 assumptions, I wrote the question. And I filled the space given for the question, that is 2 pages. And trust me, I scored decent mark in GS paper 5 as well. So, yeah, what message I want to give you from here is that if you don't know the answer, you analyze the question properly. It gives you the hint. And use your presence of mind, use some common sense, you will be able to tackle the question very well. So these are the things I wanted to say. Again, what she has already told you, that notes making is very important. I used to make my own notes. What I did is I took out the question papers of UPSC from last 2013 to 2020. Because our syllabus has changed and it is as par with the UPSC right now. Even we have to appear 1 paper extra, that is Assam paper. So what I did, I selected the common topic, what are coming in every exam. I saw that questions on inclusive growth, questions on women, questions on Panchayati Raj institutions. These questions are coming every year. So what I did is I made the notes of those topics first. Then I went for other topics and I eventually made the notes of every topic that is given in the syllabus. So when I appeared in the mains, I was not surprised with the questions because I already knew that some questions from certain topics has to be there. That's what I prepared for mains. And yeah, notes making is very important. At first, the syllabus, when you start making notes, the syllabus will appear bulky. It will look like an elephant, but if you know how to tame the elephant, you will be riding on it later on. So that's what from me. I will not talk much. If you have any questions, any queries, any doubts, you can directly approach me. You can ask me here also. I'll be answering in any language you prefer, like Assamese, Hindi or English. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.
A very good afternoon to all, respected professors, my fellow officers, and all my friends present here. At the outset, I would like to thank the Department of Political Science and the Center for Southeast Asian Studies, Guwahati University, for organizing this interactive talk. I extend my gratitude to our HOD, Professor Jayanta Krishna Sharma, Sir, thank you for providing us with this platform where we can discuss our journey and hopefully guide future aspirants towards a better preparation. I would also like to thank Vikas sir for bringing us here together. It goes without saying how this department has been significant in our life and for our growth all these years. My utmost gratitude to our professors for always believing in me, even at times when my choices were less than optimal. Never once have they made me feel undeserving of my aims. One can count on the department to support your aims and dreams, even if they might feel a little far-fetched to you. It did to me. Nonetheless, I have made it to a certain point, and for that I am quite glad. Now, only a civil servant knows what it takes to follow this journey. At times, it would feel like a rabbit hole from where there is no end in sight. Even the best among us do not make it to the other end, and that is quite okay. What is required at the moment is to build a supportive environment for aspirants who are willing to go through this long and bumpy road. We must strive not to make a already long winding journey more taxing on the students and aspirants alike. Before moving on to preparation ideas, I would also like to ask you all to make a habit of patience from now on. There will be 1,000 ways in front of you how to do it, and many more strategies, and also countless advice, most of them unsolicited, some quite helpful. But you get to decide how to deal with this onslaught, whether to let it get to you or not. Even the most resilient of people will fall short on patience, and trust me on that. So I will place patience and fortitude before motivation or inspiration. Motivation you can get quite easily nowadays. You open any platform, you look at a video or reel, and then you have your daily dose of dopamine. Sometimes more than required. That short burst of productivity you will get right after a video or reel, it won't work in the long term. So resilience has to come from within you. You have to build it consistently. And even then, if it works for you, it works. Whatever works for you, whatever makes your progress record on the positive slope, then it is okay. And that is why we can say that there is not a surefire way to do this. It might work for some people, it might not work for some people. And you might at times feel dejected, or your preparation might fail to work in your favor sometimes. So sit with it for some time. Most of you, many people will ask you not to go with the negativity. Be positive, always be positive. Don't go with that. If you feel dejected, stay with it for some time, and sometimes you will feel that you have overcome it by yourself. To avoid a burnout or to avoid a breakdown following any negativity or any rejection on your part, you should try to develop a holistic schedule. The timetable should not be all about studies. It should be a holistic approach that also takes care of your health and well-being. If your optimized performance level is at 4 or 5 hours of study daily, do that. Do not push your limit. Sometimes you might need to go for a longer time, but eventually what you need to do is stay persistent and consistent with your performance. Also make use of social media effectively, news and current affairs outlets and websites. Shutting yourself off is also not advisable. I did that, and it reduced my productivity to a great extent. So try to build a safe space for you. This is easier said than done, so you can scratch all that and do whatever works for you. And I wish, after many hits and misses, you will figure out what works for you. And I hope all those are hits, not misses. Now, coming to the part Sir has asked me to talk about, that is political science and international relations. PSIR is an optional subject for you, for mains. I would say that you should not think of tackling prelims and mains separately. Although there are 3 stages to this exam, you have to look at it as an entirely whole exercise. The day you begin to study for prelims, you are also covering portions for mains, even if not exclusively. And even interview. While that is a whole other examination of the entirety of your life, but take the process as a whole and also as the sum of its part. It is quite tricky. When it comes to political science, starting with the overlapping GS and polity portion is ideal. There are many parts of GS and political science which are necessary for both prelims and mains. Do not go thinking that you are going for master's level study. For a master's student, it might come naturally, but try to resist it. What can I say? That even after resisting, I still got lesser marks than expected in my optional. But then competitive examinations are quite capricious. For our purpose, graduate level study for this paper is quite enough. I can list a number of books that will surely come in handy for your preparation. This list you can find on any site or app that is dedicated to civil services examination. I might also add that this interactive talk is only for APSC preparation. We might not be the right people to suggest you about you-know-who, but since the change of syllabus in APSC and a similar pattern for both APSC and UPSC, one might as well try to single-handedly deal with both David and Goliath. Think of it as a comprehensive preparation for both. Now on to the books. Indian Polity by M. Lakshmikant is your holy grail. For both prelims and mains, you have to read that a countless times. And like any rule, you have to refer to it back and forth. Along with Lakshmikant, you can also start with NCERT books which deal with the polity part of the preparation. And NCERT brushes up your basics and it builds a solid foundation for you. I think it also simplifies what you should write about a particular topic for mains. Now, mains should test the breadth of your knowledge, not the depth of it. Even if you have an in-depth knowledge of the topic, you have to express it in crisp and concise manner because there won't be time. You cannot keep on writing like you already do in your graduation or masters. Because trust me on this, no amount of practice will replicate the marathon writing you have to go on for 4 or 5 days straight. 2 papers, 2 shifts. If you have been writing for 80 to 100 marks for 3 hours, now you have to write for 250 marks for 3 hours on 2 shifts. Your hand will stop working. So try to practice daily answer writing. Do not let it go that I will do it after prelims, I will do it in those 3 months, or I will do it after my preparation is done. Continue with answer writing practice. Daily answer writing practice will go a long way to help you for this time constraint answer. And missing any question will also affect your marks. Like they have said before me, make sure to attempt all the questions. Speed writing will be your strength. If you are naturally good at it, then all the more better. Now for speed writing to work, you also need to think fast. Political science can be an advantage for you if you have it as a subject from HS onwards or even graduation onwards. The basics of this subject should be for you to draw up at any moment. This is why you need to build your basics first. For Indian government and politics part, Padya's book on the same topic is quite useful. For political theory, you don't want to go to Kimlicka or even Andrew Haywood. Start with Gauba first. And Haywood can be useful for some topics if it is political ideologies and all. But try to keep your stack of books to a minimum. You do not need to understand one topic from multiple sources. You need to understand one topic from one source, but understand it clearly. There's also a part on political philosophers and thinkers, both Indian and Western. Try to read each one of them at a single time. There are quite a few books on Western political thought and Indian political thought that you do during your masters and graduation. All of them will be helpful. Shepaluj has Western political thought, or O.P. Gaba's book by the same name. There is also one by Sushila Ramaswamy. And for Indian political thought, follow either O.P. Gaba. I can share these names with you later on. You can find the list anywhere. But still, for the sake of your optional, I'm just mentioning them. Himanshu Roy's Indian political thought or Vidyut Chakrabarty's modern Indian political thought. For comparative politics as well, following 1 or 2 books should be enough. Any good book will do. Either go with Johari or go with S.N. Ray. And for public administration too, you can follow Mohit Chakrabarty, Lakshmikant, Avasthi, Maheshwari, all the names you have been hearing during your graduation and masters. Now coming to IR. The best source for IR is any one book for theory and online resources. A daily news ritual is a must. Even for PSIR students, you should not neglect the news. ideally follow one newspaper, national and one local for APSC. Even with the news, the notion of reading one newspaper has now been replaced by collecting relevant information across daily news. So, and I think it might seem like a daunting task for you to do, but do not worry. Most of the online sites for preparation, they come up with a daily compilation. So you read on your own, read a paper on your own, and go through the compilation daily. Editorials on international affairs are a great source for learning about IR. And for the static part, you can deal with Andrew Haywood's Global Politics and a book on foreign policy, either Rajiv Sikri, David Malone, or Sumit Ganguly. This will take care of the static portion. And for the dynamic part, news articles and journals are your best source. I would suggest that one should also make optimal use of online resources in addition to offline reading. It seems effective reading through an entirely online structure may be replacing your preparation strategy in the years to come. However, for the moment now, foundational learning can be achieved through offline books itself. If they are not accessible to you in paperback, you can find PDF versions or soft copies on the web. So there's no dearth of materials, especially for PSIR. So careful selection is necessary to cover the syllabus on time. So follow the syllabus and memorize it. What are the things that are needed? And I guess I have covered the gist of it. Political science is a vast subject, so it requires discretion on the part of an aspirant to see what needs to be taken in and what needs to be discarded among all the available resources. To understand this, you have to go through previous year's questions. Regular attempt to solve PYQs and MCQs will help you get the hang of prelims. And also for mains, following questions from previous years will be a great booster to your preparation. For answer writing practice too, this will be a helpful guide. And if you want to choose PSIR as your optional, it will do good for you to learn to love this subject and make a habit of enjoying your preparation as much as you would enjoy your eventual success in the exam. With that, I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Respected HOD sir, Vikas Tripathi sir, Joanna ma'am, Shubhajit sir, Varsha ma'am, thank you so much for having us here. At the very outset, I would like to thank sir for giving us the platform to speak about our journey and also to guide the aspirants to prepare for their civil service examinations. So talking about my journey, that was at the very outset I would say that I am not a good speaker, so my mistakes might be much bigger, so pardon me for that. So I would like to say that I started my journey when I came to Guwahati for pursuing my masters. So from the graduation days, I thought that PSIR would be a good optional for me in the civil service preparation. Though I had a very keen interest in psychology and I wanted to take masters in psychology, but I thought that no, I should go for PSIR. And on that note, I would say that you can say that I am your just 1 year senior. I passed out in 2021 from this university. So 6-7 months passed, then COVID was there, but COVID seems to be a blessing for us. For actually me, because I could prepare myself for this particular exam. I gave myself fully into this exam. Although in the last September we had our finals and prelims भी उसके साथ ही चल रहा था, and I just remember that मैंने अखिल सर जो हमारे last HOD थे, तो सर को मैंने बोला था कि सर please shift the date because we have our exams, especially the prelims exam. Then sir shifted the particular date. So I had to take coaching for that. After completing the prelims, I had to take coaching because I had very lesser time and I was indulging masters, so मेरे पास उतना time नहीं था. So we got only 3 months basically to complete our like mains preparation. So in that note, I would say that coaching, if you want to take it, it's not a bad option because the environment that is required for this particular exam is very much needed. So you can say that we didn't get that. As I come from a very ordinary place, most of you haven't heard about the place Lanka. And I still remember one of my senior once taunted me with Lanka, is it Sri Lanka? So that was a very although it was a joke, but it actually I felt very bad at that particular moment that many of us, many of you might not know where this place belongs to. So after having mains, I got the result on the on the 18th of May that I got selected for the PT test, personal interview, and then after the interview 5 months passed, and that was a very depressing moment, particularly for a student like me. I was not able to think what should I do next. Although I have cleared UGC NET, but I was not into what to do next, as I have also appeared for PhD entrances. I could not make in the final list. Shubhrajit sir knows that better because I have talked to sir about my career. So that was a very challenging moment. 5 months was very depressing. So I thought to join college there at Hojai. So I joined as an assistant professor there. After that, 21st October, the result got declared, and I saw my name in that holy PDF, and I was very happy that this was my first attempt. You can say this was my first prelims, first mains, and first interview, and I could make into the list. And for that, I am very grateful to God as well as my teachers. Okay, so sir has asked me to talk about especially the optional paper. So my optional was Political Science and International Relations. As you all know that Political Science is a very vast subject. It's not like आप लोगों को जो मिलता है मास्टर्स या ग्रेजुएशन में, दिस इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन, इट इज अ वेरी वास्ट सिलेबस. सो यू हैव टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगिनिंग. जो मैंने गलती किया था, मैं आप लोगों को आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट यू शुडंट डू दैट, that you should start your preparation from the very prelim segment. You should start writing your answers. One thing I would like to say, as Tamasha Ba has already said many things on the particular segment like answer writing, I would like to say that sometimes you might find a 10 marker question. You will be given only 2 sheets of paper and you know very much about the topic. So you have to write it down within 2 pages, but you have a lot of knowledge. You can't handle within 2 pages, but you have to write it down. So this can only be possible if you start practicing. And once you will get a question of 20 marker or 15 marker, and you have a very less knowledge about it, but you still have to stretch it for 5 pages. So all these things can only be possible only if you practice writing. The more you practice, the more you can get a better result for that. And secondly, often the exams we appear in the traditional system examinations, these are of 100 marks and we get 3 hours. But in this kind of exam, competitive examination, we have to appear for 250 marks and only for 3 hours. So time management plays a very important role here. Time management, आप लोग जितना जल्दी हो सके try to write it fast. And when can you write the answer fast? जब आप लोग के पास content होगा, that you can think, okay, something like Aristotle. Okay, Aristotle के बारे में ये पता है, then I will just draw a sketch, then I will write it down. See, the strategy I have adopted was that as the questions are of 250 marks, I took 8 to 9 minutes to complete, or else I had to leave a question or skip a question. So 8 minutes, a particular question, that is a very risky task, and this can only be done only if you practice writing. So secondly, and I would like to say that the paper PSIR, you know very well that this comprises of 2 parts, and one is the static portion and the other is the dynamic portion. So the static portion is very well and you can do very well in that, but the dynamic portion, you have to give your own thinking, your own perception, your analytical views will be reflected in the paper. So try to get into it. Current affairs plays a very important role. See, in this IR paper, you have the second section B, which is India and the world countries. There you have to give your own views. Not really your own views, but you have to drag the key issues which are going on in and around the world. So you have to be very up to date with the current affairs, and that's all for the, I think I can give you a list which I have followed during my examination. So kindly, if you need any kind of help, just talk to me. I can give you the list which I have followed here. And exams, ये सब तो चलता रहेगा, but I would definitely say that never lose hope, because जो हम लोग का journey था, especially that started from 2020 and today is 2022. So it almost took around 3 years, and that was quite a long time for us. Like a person from a very ordinary family, you have to think of many things before taking a step. So once, most of the time I used to get demotivated that how to tackle with this. Will I make in the list or not? So that was always a doubt. But I would like to say that never ever lose your hope. Stay calm, chase your dreams and do whatever you want to, wholeheartedly. ऐसा नहीं है कि बस नाम के लिए APSC पढ़ लिया, UPSC के लिए तैयारी. No, don't do that. Give your 100% for whatever you do. And the coming aspirants, I see many of the faces. So if you are very interested, then please do follow your routine. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप लोग मतलब कुछ एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी कर देंगे तो आप लोग का सिलेक्शन हो जाएगा. जस्ट गो विद द फ्लो एंड डू maintain the consistency. Whatever you are following right now, please maintain the consistency. And the 3 mantras I would like to suggest you all that helped me in my journey is dedication, hard work and perseverance. These 3 things helped me a lot. Sometimes you will feel low, but don't take it too deeply. Some moments will be there where people would be criticizing you, what you are doing, what is your next step, why you are staying here, why not this and that. But don't get demotivated by these words. Always use that demotivation into your studies, that I will do something one day at least. On this note, again I would like to thank Vikas Tripathi sir for organizing this particular Vartalap and interactive program. And I wish you all the very best. And I really hope that I will be seeing you all in the next batches to come. Thank you very much.